I'm excited for this season. I'm excited to see it. I know I'm going to be disappointed likely the first 2 weeks. I think we're starting off 0-2. Those are two rough games. But I mean, besides that, I think we're going to see Kellen Moore, who is still a young head coach, and Tyler Shough, who is still a young quarterback in the league. Both of those guys are going to figure something out. They're going to look at what they did wrong. They're going to come back. They're going to come back the next game. They're going to figure it out. And I think we're going to see, much like last season, major improvement. I mean, they were playing much weaker opponents at the back end of their schedule last year, but you still likely will see a good progression in what they're doing throughout the season. Last year was just kind of Kellen Moore figuring it out. I don't know why. I mean, you had those people that were saying he should be fired. Absolutely not. His seat was ice cold. At least from my perspective, his seat was ice cold. He was not on the hot seat. He will not be on the hot seat this year either. I don't even think he'll be on the hot seat the year after that. That's how confident I feel in him. I think he's learning. I think we have to give him some grace with that, but I really am excited to see what this team can do. They may shock us. They may win 11 games this season. I don't know. If they go undefeated, I don't know, man. That would be crazy. I don't think a Super Bowl is on the table, but I've been hearing so many people say, don't sleep on this team. They could make a run with their easy schedule. And they do have the second easiest schedule in the league right now. So they could make a run. They could be like the Patriots. You know, you get a cupcake walk all the way to the Super Bowl. I still think the Broncos would have put up a better fight, but, you know, in that situation, but I'm biased because I kind of hate the Patriots. So I did not want to see them in the Super Bowl. So honestly, it was kind of satisfying watching the Seahawks do what they did to them in the Super Bowl.
Let me ask you this, and this is just my feeling from it. You kind of hang out and you look, and we went to a game last year. We went to the first game of the season, and now it's excitement because it's the opener. You know, you got that. The crowd was into it. The dome was not full, but that crowd was into it the whole time. The thing that was different about watching that team, and at least probably I'll just be honest, until they made the quarterback change, it was a struggle to get anything going, like anything. And then when you had the momentum, and this is just us watching, it's like you can't make mistakes when you're a young team and you're trying to get it done. And it seemed like everything was a struggle. They made the switch. You come back to it toward the end of the season. They were one of the best teams in football, I felt like. Granted, it was an easy part of the schedule, but it's stuff to build on. And it's kind of this feeling going into this year. It's like you kind of temper it, but at the same time, there's this little bubble of excitement about this team. And you haven't felt that about the Saints in about, 3 or 4 seasons. And it's like you said, it's not like this Super Bowl type of winning thing, but there's an excitement, there's a vibe, and you can feel some energy coming from the moves that they made. And, you know, the Kamara move is one of them, bringing back Cam Jordan. I thought those were both key moves. I thought they had to make those moves to keep those veterans in the locker room for a young team. And when you make them, that just kind of solidifies like, hey, are they going to win right away? Maybe not. This is a building process. But you need to have those two guys in the fold when you're doing it. How are you feeling just looking at it? Is it kind of like that for you or I don't know, man?
There's a part of me that's like, this team could make a deep playoff run. There's just this part of me that's excited for it, saying they could make the adjustment. They could turn it around really fast with all the additions that they made this season. I mean, they addressed the offense, which was the biggest struggle. So I just want to be so bad, like, yeah, this could be a team that you could see in the conference championship. Maybe not hosting it, but they could be a team in the conference championship. But then at the same time, I'm going, this is the Saints. This is the Saints we're talking about. You know, they're still in a rebuild. I'm not expecting just this absolute explosion right out the gate. They're going to be amazing, you know, just turn around immediately. I don't necessarily see that happening realistically, even though as a fan, I'm just like, these guys are going to come out guns blazing. They're going to destroy everybody. They're going to win every game. I don't want to necessarily feel like that, but I do. I have excitement. There's a lot of excitement surrounding this team.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're going, they're still rebuilding. They're young. They're going to make mistakes. These guys are probably not going to win as many games as maybe they should win, but at the same time, you're going, anything is an improvement over the past 2 seasons. And I think we're going to see an improvement. Even if they go 6-10 again, we're going to see a different 6-10 team or 6-11 team, whatever it was. We're going to see a different team. They're young. And like you said, adding guys like Kamara and Jordan back, you got that veteran presence in the locker room. And then they brought back Caden Ellis too. He's been in the league for a while. He knows what's up. He's gonna help these younger guys do what they need to do, and that's exactly the role that Kamara and Cam Jordan are playing in this. I think they're gonna be the tie factors that tie in this young team. They're gonna show them, hey, this is how we do things. This is what you should expect. This is how we're gonna do everything. I have excitement, but I'm very optimistic, but I am still at the same time being cautious. I'm cautiously optimistic at the moment because I want to, like I said, I want to have that feeling that they're going to dominate the league. But then at the same time, I'm like, they're young. They're rebuilding. You got a young head coach. I mean, the head coach is not much older than some of the players on the team. And then, speaking of age and stuff, Taysom Hill's not coming back either. There's no contract. He's 36. That's similar to Kellen Moore's age. It's things like that. Having Taysom Hill walk, you're letting another veteran presence walk. But at the same time, that might be the end of his career. He's definitely slowed down. And he's 36, and the style of football he plays is very rough, tough. He's taken a lot of hits. So even if he does come back, you're not going to see nearly as much of him, especially with Kamara coming back and you signing Travis Etienne. You're not going to see much of him. But I'm excited for this season. I want to know what they're going to do. I'm optimistic about it, but then at the same time, I know they're going to crush my hopes at some point. I still have that feeling because that's what the Saints do. They crush your hopes and dreams.
You're starting to get it, man. This is what I was trying to tell you when we started those first couple episodes. What's it like to be a Saints fan? What's it like to follow the Saints? There it is, man. You're starting to get it. You're starting to get it. I don't wear it on my sleeve as much as you do, though. You've been through enough, and me, we've been to enough games together. I don't react to a lot of stuff. The most you're going to get is, that was a good play. That was a good play. Nice play. It doesn't, even if it's an opposing team too, that was a good play. And I think you do the same thing sometimes, but for me, I think what's going to happen here on Sundays, it's going to be interesting to get up on Sunday and just watch what happens and just watch it unfold. Because I think toward the end of last year, you really didn't know it. I think that's where we are with this team, where you get up in the morning, you watch them play, and you don't know what's going to happen. And as you start seeing things happen and they're working well, you're like, okay, you can see them growing. When something bad happens for the team, okay, how do they react here? What happens? Do they just fold up? More often than not, when that bad stuff started happening, they were fighting back, which is, if you're a coach and you're watching what's going on, that's stuff you want to see. They weren't really in any games that it was just toward the end of the season that it was just not happening. I know some got tough there down the stretch, but you could see the momentum starting to build. And some people will say that doesn't matter, but yes, it does. When you're in a situation like you are with the Saints, where your roster is so young and you got a brand new quarterback, doesn't matter how old he is, he's never played pro football before. When you can get wins and you can rack up, you can see that your offense is working, that's confidence right there.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Well, I would like to say this, that I am excited to get up and watch Saints football. I want the season to start. Last season you get up and you go, the Saints are on. I wonder what they're going to do to me today.
Yeah, that's
it's like, am I going to sit there and be so frustrated at what they're doing, or am I going to be so hyped? Because for the first time in a very long time, I was actually excited to watch Saints football because Tyler Shough was there. He made that one play against the Bucs. where there's absolutely no way he should have made it out of that, and he ends up scoring a touchdown on the play. I think you know which play I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know
I mean,
exactly which one you're talking about.
I remember that, and I don't think I've ever been so pumped up since Drew Brees was playing for the Saints. It's been a very long time, and I have my faith in Tyler Shough. I think I should get like a shrine or something dedicated to Tyler Shough. Pray to him every Sunday.
But does the wall of
So he
Meacham
can give
come
me good
down though,
football.
man? You can't touch the wall of Meacham though.
No, it's not coming down. I promise you it's not coming down. It's just maybe I might add a little shrine underneath there for the almighty Tyler Shough. I'll get some
You
of them
don't have
candles,
any
start
Tyler
burning
Shough
them.
stuff in there, man. There's nothing in there right now.
I know. I'm hoping that he could be that guy that I want to like put up on my wall, you know. And I think that's everybody's hoping he's going to be that guy. Everybody, I guarantee you, a lot of people are going to be rocking the number 6 going into this next season, showing up to football games. They're going to be Tyler Shough enjoyers.
I can completely see that. If you're following the Saints on social media and following Tyler Shough on social media, he is posting stuff every day, and it's really good stuff. I would recommend that you go follow him just to see every day what's happening there, how he's getting ready for the season, and some other stuff that he's doing. Go check him out. It's really cool stuff. We talk about people embracing the culture, embracing the city. He's doing it. He is becoming that leader on and off the field. I know we did a whole episode on that, but it is continued. And if you're the Saints, that's what you want to see right now.
Yeah, he seems like the guy. There's not very many people that you could talk to, and they'll say they have no faith in Tyler Shough or he's not the right guy. I think he can develop into a good quarterback. And we saw flashes of what he could do last season, although it was a weaker schedule. Even when he was playing against the Falcons and he looked like he was struggling, he still had decent numbers. He still was making decent reads. He's embraced the culture of New Orleans so well. He gets the fan base, and I'm just excited to see what he has in store for us this season. Him and Kellen Moore, they can do it. I think they can do it. They can make something special out of this. I know they're still rebuilding, and I think a lot of Saints fans say this every year. If we just stay healthy, we're going to win games, and it almost seems like every year you say, if we didn't have these key injuries, we would be, right in contention, those types of things. Like last season, if the offensive line, wasn't just completely falling apart because of injuries, you might have seen a Saints team in a playoff game. They wouldn't have won it, but you would have seen a Saints team in a playoff game. And I'm so hopeful that this season goes better. I want a fun offense to watch, and I think that's what most fans want. They want to see an offense that can put up points. It's always great to see a good defense, but even when the Saints were not doing well with Drew Brees, he was still putting up crazy numbers. The offenses were crazy. So you're still having fun watching them. And this team was competitive last season. There were very few games last season where they just got absolutely stomped on. There was low morale. Honestly, under Kellen Moore, I very rarely saw the morale go low. I think these guys want to play for him. They want to do good for him. And I just am so optimistic about this season. But I'm still being cautious about that optimism because I feel like at some point they're just going to absolutely crush me because, you go, I've seen what this team can do. I know what they're capable of, and then for them not to do it, you just are so frustrated with it. And I mean, last season mainly the season before last, that frustration with the offense was so high because you're just going, what are we doing? I'm hoping that frustration isn't every single week. I'm hoping I get, little fits of frustration within the game. And I think we do that every Sunday where we just go, what are they doing? Or why is he that open? Or why are you throwing that? We're still going to have those moments, but I don't think they're going to be every single quarter, every single drive. You go, why was that the play call? Why are we doing this? Why is this happening? I don't think we're going to get nearly as much as that. I don't think it's going to be consistent. We're going to get bouts of it, but